How long? How thick? How big? How heavy? How cold? These are questions that have bugged humanity ever since the dawn of civilizations. Egyptians, Babylonians, Greek, and the Romans. People who lived wondered and developed their own methods on answering these questions. This is a brief history of measurement. First, techniques of measurements. Length has been the most necessary measurement in everyday life. Through this, it became easier for people to explain how far away the next village is and whether an object will fit through a doorway. Using different parts of the body, people had ways to express length, distance, and even height. The human body provides no such approximation for weight, but rather, it was measured through nature. The number of grains was used to express mass, as they were quite standard in size. A rod or bar with an exact length was kept in public places, and from this rod, it can be copied and distributed throughout the community. In Egypt and Mesopotamia, these standards were used and kept in temples, and the body of measurements of the king was used as the norm. However, through time, these have been proven to be very inaccurate as the measurements would vary from one place to another, making trade difficult for everyone. However, despite these flaws, those methods were somewhat adopted in the countries of England. The English system started with many variations throughout its history. The development of the system continued by defining the units by law and providing measurement standards in different times, places, and applications. Some measurements, like the yard, was once decreed by King Henry I to be the distance from the tip of his nose to the end of his thumb, while the mile was defined by Queen Elizabeth I to be 8 furlongs. Between 1266 and 1303, a law known as composition of yards and perches was made to determine the length of barley corn, inch, foot, yard, perch, and the area of the acre. It was only through the British Weights and Measures Act of 1824, which began a more standardized method of measurements, as this act defined as a standardized set of measures. The system of metric decimal system was first implemented during the French Revolution. The kilogram and meter were used as standards by a committee of French Academy of Sciences, which is commissioned by the National Assembly and King Louis XVI. The group consisted of Marquis de Condorcet, Pierre-Simon Laplace, Adrien-Marie Legendre, Antoine Lavoisier, and Jean Conte-Borda, who then formed a commission of weights and measures with an aim that countries should adopt a completely new system of measurement based on the principles of logic and natural phenomena. The Commission's final recommendations were that the Assembly should promote a decimal-based system of measurement. The leaders of the Assembly accepted the views of the Commission, and initially France attempted to work with the other countries towards adopting a common set of units of measure. Then, April 7, 1795, this was introduced by the Law on Weights and Measures. This caused a major upheaval in everyday life and brought a revolution in calculations, such as in the countries of Italy, Netherlands, and Spain. While these countries were dependent on the measurements set by France, there was still a tendency for the measures to not be exact in these other locations, making the unification process difficult. This is why the BIPM was founded in 1875. In the same year, the Treaty of the Meter was passed, with France handing the metric system and the actual remaining standards to international control, keeping it away from Germany, with whom France has had conflict with. This was only for the kilogram and meter, which were used for mass and length respectively. In 1921, however, the scope was expanded as the system already included all that can be quantified by measurement.
Created using Powtoon.